BJP leader there, Kirit Somaiya, accusing the Maharashtra government of overlooking cases of love jihad. Says that 23 girls have gone missing and this could be a possible case of love jihad, a blanket statement that he makes here. And of course, the government, the Maharashtra government not wanting to pay much heed, calling this a curated, manufactured term of the BJP.
See, Nabila, this is the harsh or I can say it's a cruel reality of our country that not only in Maharashtra, I can cite examples in each and every state of our country where love jihad is happening, and it's happening under the mission of Ghazwa Hind. And this is the harsh reality, and the political parties who are into the politics of appeasement not want to see it.
They deny it. They're going to denial mode. And same thing is happening in Maharashtra. As Mr. Somaiya, he said that 21 minor girls, they got abducted. Now the police clarifies without giving any evidence that 19 girls are back in the home. They're not telling whether in reality they are back or not, and they're not giving any explanation that whether they were abducted or some sort of fraud happened with them. They are not coming out clear with it. This shows that there is definitely something fishy, and the Maharashtra government...
But if there was a case of love jihad, don't you think the parents, the family members would have come forward? Mass abduction sounds a little off, doesn't really seem logical, don't you think here? Mass abduction for conversion.
It is not mass abduction. These girls, they were abducted, or they were, taken on the wrong path from time to time, not in a single day. I can say so. It may be in a month, it may be in 2 months. It happens, and it happens everywhere. This is the reality.
So basically, you're making a blanket statement that because the girls have gone missing, this is a possible case of love jihad.
So this is what I am saying, that why not government is coming clear on it? Why not the Maharashtra police is giving any sort of explanation? This shouldn't happen. This is the reality. And we know it. Love jihad, it started, this phrase was coined in South India, not by Bharatiya Janata Party government. So we
know back in 2009, now see, interfaith marriages are common, and this is possibly one of the only countries in the world where you have this kind of diversity. You have people of all religions and in sizes, in that many numbers. So this is basically terming interfaith marriage as love jihad. Is that what you're...
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, Nabila. I have got so many friends who have got into wedlock, and they come from different faiths. I'm not saying, or we are not saying that love jihad means that you are marrying somebody from a different religion. The thing is, when somebody says that I am Anil, and he puts kalawa on his wrist, puts tika on his forehead, and in reality, he is Anis. He is not Anil.
So you're
and
saying
by
this
the time,
is a common,
the girl gets so much in love with them. Please allow me, give me 5 more seconds. I'd like to explain this because, very rapidly everybody says interfaith marriage means love jihad. No, absolutely not. When a girl is pushed into a fraud, then by the time girl is so much madly in love with a boy, she says, okay, fine. And we know in Islam, you cannot marry any person until or unless you convert. So here the story starts, and we know that how Anjali becomes Aisha, and then many a times we have seen how she is
It's not an isolated incident. This is how Muslims basically try and deceive Hindus, and they put a tilak and pretend like they're a Hindu, and it's a common affair. It's a case that happens across, according to what you're saying.
It is not a general statement.
Right, but you're saying that this happens rampantly across of India. This is a menace, so much so that it has to become a law.
Do some case study. Tell your channel to do some case studies.
If you have any statistics, we'd like to know. You're saying so much so that this is now should be made into a law. That's how menacing it